I don't know how to feel, man. I do not know how to feel. Not even talking about basketball for the Knicks. They've been stressful, okay? We had the news first come out that our boy Kenny Payne was in the running for the DePaul job, and everyone was thinking it was over. They were trying to rip out one of our favorite assistant coaches from underneath our faces. We were sitting on that for what, 2 weeks? A week and some change? I don't know what it was, but it felt like an eternity. And then literally a day or two later, we're seeing the reports that Utah was looking at not only one of the assistant coaches for the current Utah Jazz, but ex-assistant coach and current Knicks assistant coach, Johnny Bryant. I call him Johnny B, and that one hurt a lot because those are two coaches that I was very excited to have on this staff. Very big, integral parts to why our team has been so good this year with our culture, with everything going on. Then the nail in the coffin. The nail in the coffin when I'm seeing that Mike Woodson could possibly go back to his alma mater, Indiana, and become the replacement and be the new head coach for Indiana, the Indiana Hoosiers. And I was just like, that's the one. We're going to lose all three of them. I was for certain that we were going to lose all three of our best assets that are not basketball players. But then there was hope. Then the news came out that our guy Kenny Payne decided to turn down the offer to DePaul, and he was going to stay with the Knicks for the foreseeable future. And then Johnny Bryant decided to back out of the conversation. When it came down to just him and a few other names, he decided to back out of the conversation and stay with the New York Knicks. So I was happy. Good times ahead. Good things. We're keeping our guys. Now we just need Mike Woodson to give up his dreams and stay with the Knicks.
How proud I am to announce to all of you and to Hoosier Nation today, the next head basketball coach at Indiana University, Mike Woodson. Mike.
Why are we still here? Mike Woodson will go on to be the new head coach of his alma mater, Indiana, in replacement of Archie Miller in this season. And what's crazy to me is because, you know, in the offseason when you're on a playoff run and you go and poach one of the other team's assistant coaches and make them one of your coaches, you normally have to wait until the postseason's over. Like with Johnny Bryant, when we got Johnny Bryant, we had to wait till the Utah Jazz season was over, and then he came to the Knicks. Yeah, well, in the middle of the season, turns out that's not how it goes, because I'm here thinking, well, at least we could finish out the season with Mike Woodson. No, this dude was meeting with his new team today. He's meeting with them today, Monday, and he's on and doing his Indiana duties. And I get it, because, you know, the tournaments are about to end, so he wants to jump right into recruiting, and I understand that. It makes sense. I'm just sad about it. Like, he can't make calls, no Zoom call coaching. Like, we can't put a little laptop on the bench with Mike Woodson's beautiful face. But then the question comes out to who are we going to replace him with? Are we going to replace him with anybody that we know about in the future? I don't know. But I do have one name that I want to throw into the conversation. We have some conversations to be had. Who replaces Mitchell Robinson? I don't know. But let's run the intro. What's going on, CK Crew? It's your boy CK2K here, and welcome back to another video. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Do not forget to like this video. As I always say, and I should have changed up my description box a little bit, make sure you go and check out the other YouTube channels, CKTV, CK Hoops. Go check them out. Links are in the description below. Content galore. I know it's not happening right now. I'm waiting for my damn laptop to get fixed, but there will be content on all three channels throughout every week, so go and check out and support your boy. It means a lot. Enjoy the Discord link in the description below. Discord's lit. We have a lot of fun, and that's where you can find out when these videos go up before even YouTube lets you know. Now, you guys know I am the president, commander, and leader of the Zo2NY movement, right? So I thought to myself, I got the perfect guy. If we are going to go about and sign Lonzo Ball this offseason, why not make, and no, I'm not going to say LeVar Ball, I'm going to cut y'all off right there. So if we're going to go and sign Lonzo Ball in the offseason, why not go after somebody that's been very integral to his career and will possibly integral to somebody else on our team? Because it wasn't just Lonzo that reaped the benefits of this man. It was also Brandon Ingram. I'm talking about Fred Vinson, ladies and gentlemen. I think the Knicks should go out and poach Fred Vinson from the New Orleans Pelicans to seal that deal of getting Lonzo Ball. And like I said, not just for Lonzo Ball, this is something that could benefit RJ Barrett, who has stepped up all of his shooting numbers from his first year to his second year. Fred Vinson has done wonders to what Lonzo Ball's jump shot has become. He's done wonders to Brandon Ingram. Both Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball, though, were solid offensive guys in college, it didn't translate right away into the pro game, especially at the free throw line, where both of these guys cannot hit a free throw at a consistent rate. And now with Fred Vinson, he was the one that ultimately changed up Lonzo Ball's shot, ultimately changed Brandon Ingram's shot a little bit, and was able to get them going and get them to, you know, especially Brandon Ingram, turning him into all-star level player. Now, the reason why I throw Fred Vinson's name in there outside of the things I just mentioned, Fred Vinson was one of the only people that stayed on when the new coaching staff came about with Stan Van Gundy. Especially if he loses Lonzo Ball, his prodigy, his Frankenstein, or his monster to Fred Vinson's Frankenstein. Let's bring him with him. Let him join the ride and let us reap the benefits of not just him, Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin might need his shot fixed a little bit. He would be the perfect person to be in the gym with Obi Toppin fixing that jump shot. I don't know. I just feel like it would be a perfect replacement. Fred Vinson is becoming very valuable. He gets a little bump in his rate. What is wrong with my English today? Gets a little bump in his salary going from New Orleans going to New Yicks. The New York Knicks. I haven't made a video since last Monday, so you gotta forgive me. But Fred Vinson, that's my vote for the replacement in the near future. I think we should go after Fred Vinson in the offseason. But what do you guys think about that? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But we have a lot else to talk about because a lot of free agency buzz was going around, and we had a very unfortunate injury over the weekend that I have not been able to address. Mitchell Robinson. I don't want to spend too much time on this because I just don't want to talk about the injury too much because it's been frustrating. You know, Mitchell Robinson, who came off of roughly his best game of his career. You could say that. I would say that. I would venture to say Mitchell Robinson had his best game of his young career, or a few games after his, but I forgot they played the Wizards twice. I completely forgot about that second Wizards game. 2 games after his best game of his career, because the first game against the Wizards, Mitchell Robinson was a juggernaut, scoring 16 points and putting up 12 boards, shooting 78% from the field, and also tallying up 3 blocks. And he was looking like Mitchell Robinson's back, and that's especially coming after the game before where he looked a little bit sluggish. He was just coming back from the injury that Sunday against the Philadelphia 76ers. So we weren't sure how long it was going to take for Mitchell Robinson to come back to health and be himself. But the next game, he had that game. But then the following game against the Wizards, he was that's neither here nor there. A lot of the Knicks weren't that great in that second game against the Wizards. Mitchell Robinson unfortunately fractured his foot in that first quarter, where it seemed like he rolled his ankle or something like that. But the way he went down and immediately grabbed his foot when the camera zoomed in, you saw it was more than that. He couldn't put much weight on his foot after that. And then, yeah, we found out the news mid-game that he was ultimately out due to a fractured foot. And apparently we found out the news before the Knicks did, because you could tell by Derrick Rose's reaction post-game that, you know, he was genuinely hurt and he had no idea that it was that kind of injury when it came to Mitchell Robinson. And then to add insult to injury, it was literally hours after the tweet came out. The report had just come out that the Knicks were not pursuing Andre Drummond anymore. There was no need for Andre Drummond's services. The Knicks were looking to go forward with the three-headed monster that we have of the big man of Mitchell Robinson, Nerlens Noel, and Taj Gibson. We weren't going to look to pursue Andre Drummond. And then we have our game that night, and Mitchell Robinson suffers this injury. He's going to be out for at least 4 to 5 weeks. He gets evaluated in 4 weeks, but for an injury like this, who's to say he even comes back in that time? He might take a 5th week, might take a 6th week. Who knows? Because it's a fractured bone in your foot. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully it's just the minimal 4 weeks and he'll be back on track right before that final stretch going into hopefully one of our first pro seasons in a few years. I say a few to be nice, but about 7-8 years. You can tell Mitchell Robinson's frustrated because he dropped a bunch of tweets after the fact. He was really emotional, really upset about the entire thing. And I would imagine he would be, you know, if the players, his teammates, his guys are as emotional as he is about it. I wouldn't be surprised if he was emotional about it too, because he's had a crazy, weird, janky injury history. I say that because Mitchell Robinson hasn't really missed extended amounts of games outside of that broken hand, but he's had multiple injuries, from ankle injuries to knee injuries, this, that, and the third, where he'd be missing little chunks of games from the beginning of his career to now. And then he had 2 bigger injuries with the broken hand and now the broken foot, which is just, you know, frustrating because he was feeling like he was ready to go. He was playing good basketball, especially against that Wizards game, and now he's gonna be out for some more time. So tough times right now for Mitchell Robinson. Tough times for Knicks fans because, you know, we're all rooting for this kid. And there's a lot of rumors that are being swirled around that, you know, do we keep Mitchell Robinson long term because he has another year on his contract, or another year that we can, you know, up him on to have him for another year on his contract, and all those kind of conversations that I'm not really willing to talk about right now. You know, I've been in conversations about trading him in the past, you know, for LaMelo Ball and stuff like that. But, you know, it's just a lot that goes around this kid, and you got to feel bad for him to be going into a situation like this where just a lot of uncertainty, and, you know, he's having a hard time staying on the court because of these crazy freak injuries that he's having. So now the question comes up, do the Knicks need to find a replacement or a placeholder? I'm gonna use the word placeholder because to me, the only replacement that there could have been would have been Andre Drummond. I don't think there's another starter that is available that could be replacement worthy. And there's a lot of names that are going around that I'm hearing from you guys, and I'm hearing on Twitter, I'm hearing rumors, media, all kinds of areas, Reddit, all kinds of people are bringing up all kinds of different names that can come in and be the placeholder. I'm not using replacement. I don't like the word replacement, because he's not gone forever. He's not dead. You know what I mean? So the names that I'm looking at, you know, I was looking at Gorgie Deng, but he recently just got picked up yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. And, you know, a lot of you guys were excited about that move and thinking that he would be the guy to go there. But one of the names that I'm looking at is a guy like Damian Jones. Damian Jones, for those who may or may not know, was a guy that had a little bit of injury history with the Golden State Warriors, which led to him not being re-up there. Had a little bit of a stint with the Phoenix Suns, then had a little bit of a stint with the Lakers more recently. I like what Damian Jones brings. I think he would be a good guy to be one of those, you know, players that could possibly get some minutes, especially so we're not, you know, overworking Nerlens Noel and Taj Gibson. And we also got to be realistic. Nerlens Noel and Taj Gibson are both, not more Nerlens Noel, prone to having their share of injuries as well. So it would be nice to have that other option at the 5 just for some rim protection. And I like what Damian Jones does for that. He's really good at setting screens. He's a solid rim protector. You know what I mean? He gives you a little bit of offense around the rim. I think he would be a nice placeholder, nice cheap placeholder for Mitchell Robinson until he's able to come back. And I think that would help us with that depth at the big man position, especially since we're stretching Julius Randle to play the 5. I just like knowing that we have somebody that can be around the rim defensively when we're playing aggressive defense like the way we do. I'm hearing all kinds of names around those lines. I'm also hearing and seeing reports that the Knicks could just easily look at our own guys in the G League. Shatu is 6'10", so I mean, he's around that right size to play that 5. He played a little bit of it in the Westchester Knicks. He just looks small to be 6'10", but allegedly he is 6'10", and it would be the cheapest option. I mean, he was an All-American. We forget about that. You know, he had a little bit of rough coming up with his goal to be in the NBA. Another Canadian guy that we could put next to RJ. But he's a crafty big, and he wouldn't be a bad option to be putting in down there to pick up, and he's one of our own, and I think it'd be nice and cheap to do so. And we can put him on the 10-day contract, see what we do with them, like him, bring him on. You know what I mean? There's tons of other names I'm hearing, some less serious than others, but the one I really want to hone in on is one that you guys are seem to be big fans of, and that's Boogie Cousins. I saw the video of Boogie working out, coming out, and it got everybody's panties in a bunch. It got them all excited. Eye emojis, inspirational, rah. Y'all know how I feel about workout videos. I'm not completely enthused about the idea of bringing in Boogie Cousins. I mean, to be honest, we don't really have many other options. He's a guy that could stretch for us. He doesn't really bring us much defensively, but there is that Kentucky card that we could use. So to add him on would also add to that conversation. But I mean, there's a few positives there, but a lot of negatives that I'm not really a big fan of. I mean, there's the conversation that he might not be the biggest locker room guy. It's back and forth for me because we're hearing some people say that because of, you know, the history with Sacramento and, you know, some of the time in New Orleans and this, that, and the third. But then at the same time, we're also hearing from Golden State that he was this good, a great teammate. The Lakers said he was a good teammate. So it's a back and forth conversation. The Lakers and the Warriors being more of the recent team, so I would have to take those ones into consideration more so than like the Kings, because he was a younger, hard-headed guy. And you know that even if he doesn't play, he's going to be a guy on the bench that's going to ride for the team, because we saw that with the Lakers where he was there cheering the team on throughout the entire season until they ultimately had to let him go to get a roster spot so they can have some help in the bubble going into the playoffs last year. So there's a conversation to be had there. I'm not completely entertained by it because I just don't know how I feel about that defensively for us. I understand we probably could use him with some more offense because he can stretch. But I don't know, not completely entertained by it. Another injury-prone player to put on our team to really, I don't know. We've been very injury-prone this season. No matter how well we played, we're 2 games over 500 right now. I just don't know how I feel about adding another player that has an injury history to the mix. But that's just me personally. Let me know your thoughts. Do we stay put with what we have right now and not worry about picking up another big? What do you guys think? Do we pick up a big? I want to know your thoughts in the comments below. It's been your boy CK. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Do not forget to like this video. Subscribe to the other channels. Links are all in the description below. Join the CK Crew membership. Wednesday night Knicks coming up on Wednesday. Can't wait to see you guys then. But new video tomorrow. Knicks and Heat tonight. Get ready. I'm out of here. Let's get it. See you guys in the next one. I'm out. And peace.
Feeling like I won the lotto. Always taking trips with a new chick, asking where the time goes. And I wonder if this is all I'll know.